Okay, so a little update, and before I get into the update, I want to be really clear. I don't think I've ever experienced better care than at the Mayo Clinic. There are levels to this thing, and I cannot recommend them enough. They're not a sponsor, obviously. I have no vested interest in it, but my near-death experience is entirely the result of my stupidity and has nothing to do with anything the doctors had done. As a matter of fact, I did the opposite. So I guess, last we left, I bit of a cliffhanger. I almost died, came pretty close to it. I woke up in the middle of the night having trouble breathing, and it got to the point where I felt like I just could not get oxygen. And it really felt like if it got 1% worse, then I was gonna die. Let me explain to you exactly what happened. So basically, if you go on the Mayo Clinic website and read about the recovery for a procedure like this, it's 12 weeks before you're back to work, minimum. But I did have a lot of external pressures to try and come back sooner. So I thought I could do it in 4. I pushed too hard. I was doing too much, and my body told me, who told you could do that? And I paid for it. After the procedure, after the surgery, I was doing a lot of walking and moving around and stairs and stuff, which was ill-advised. But I kept getting winded just going up the stairs, doing basic things, and my breath registering on the spirometer kept getting worse. That's not so bad. It's better than before. But when it was really bad, it was a little between 1,000 and 1,250. And so now it's at 3,500. It feels like a toy. So I went in to a local hospital, got an x-ray, and they said, one of the lungs has collapsed, so it's really because you're not breathing enough. You're not expanding that lung. So they gave me some breathing exercises. And probably about 4 days after that, it was nighttime. I had to walk up the stairs to go to bed. And I remember getting really dizzy, kind of, seeing stars and short of breath. Once I laid down on my back with my glorified sex pillow that I have to, it's my mom bought it for me. She said, this will support your thoracic spine. It's a sex pillow. I saw it in the back of Hammacher Schlemmer, but it helps. The breathing became so labored that I couldn't not only get a full breath. It was everything I had, everything, my diaphragm, my muscles, that was about it. I just kept thinking, okay, how much worse is this going to get? Don't stop breathing, don't stop breathing. And I would fade out and come back to it. But right away, the first thing was, if I woke up, it was, don't stop breathing, don't stop breathing. And it just got so much worse throughout the night. And I remember, I really do. I remember praying, saying, hey, just either let this be something that just is nothing and break through and it's fine, or God, take me now. Just don't let me feel like I'm drowning to death all night. So finally it got to be about, maybe 4 a.m, and I can feel myself going out at this point. And not only can I feel myself going out, but I can feel the exhaustion of my muscles from breathing. That's when I remember getting really scared. How sometimes I always wonder this, you would watch in the films and you see people just sort of stop breathing and you wonder, well, just keep breathing. It's almost like drowning, right? Your muscles are too tired and you can't swim and you sink, even though you think, well, do whatever it takes to swim. It doesn't matter what your fight or flight instinct is. At a certain point, the muscles and the mechanics required to keep breathing, they're just not there. You don't have never-ending supply of energy. And so it's 4 a.m, and I remember thinking, okay, getting lightheaded, I might go out, and was really scared that I wouldn't have the energy to breathe while I was out. So I called my best friend who was downstairs. He didn't answer. Texted him, texted my dad, and then called through to my dad about 3 or 4 times to get through, the emergency call whenever it's in Do Not Disturb or something. And he answered to what was going on, and I could only get one word out with every breath. Okay, Dad. And so I won't put you through that, like the black in the wheelchair and Malcolm in the middle, but that's what it actually was like. And I told my dad that I thought that this could be the last time that I ever spoke with him. So something woke my friend up from the basement.
I just got a call from Steven. He says he can't breathe. He feels like he's drowning. So get him up, get him in the car, and get him out to the hospital. Get him to the ER.
Came up, hightailed it to the emergency room. Long story short, what had happened was because I had pushed things too far, I tried to do too much. And this is a lesson to everyone out there. And this is why the delays happened in coming back in September. I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to being well enough to do the show again with you guys. I think September 7th, the first day after Labor Day. I think there was some soft tissue damage. I don't know. They removed 5 to 6 liters of fluid, and you can see, we probably have showed it to you, largely bloody from my lung cavity, to the point where my left lung, think of water pressure, was completely closed, and my right was mostly closed. And once they finally drained it, I felt so much better. There's still a lot of pain to deal with, a lot of recovery and tissue stuff, but it was scary. It was scary, and I don't know how many of you out there, you can comment below if you've ever been in those. I've had one other situation I think I've talked about on air where I thought, okay, this is it, this is curtains. But this was different. And that I had time to think about it, and it wasn't panic. It was very rational. I had a whole night to think about it. And I remember that moment when I started seeing the stars, and the air is being pushed out, and I'm not able to get air in, and I can sense that I'm going to go out and faint, thinking, what do you have to get done? And I think that's kind of the perspective that's been put, everything's been put in perspective a little more. What has to get done? What matters? What doesn't? And obviously what matters most is getting healthy, being back, now with the twins, who obviously have been born to change everything. For them, for the family first, you just want to make sure they're safe and healthy, and hope you don't screw it up, because there's, like, even a puppy, like when you bring it home at 8 weeks, is so much more capable than a baby, right? They can walk, they can get into stuff and eat, like, they can go to the bathroom and it's not just gonna be all over them. A baby can do nothing. And that's the thing too, like, it's just funny. You just realize the difference too. Anyone who says there's no difference between men and women. I mean, within the first day or 2 days, Hillary's like, oh yeah, after you feed him, like someone who's like really good with a gun, like disassembling it, like a Marine or something. She's like, oh yeah, okay, I turn it over. Okay, here you go. Burp him, fart him. Okay, change him. And then I'm just like, am I supporting his head? I absolutely see though now how statistically becoming a parent makes people way more conservative. It puts in perspective, we talk about the changes going on in the country and the world, and if you had an audience, or you could influence millions of people for the better to change the world that your kids would live in, would you ever run the risk of flipping that switch off? And that puts it in perspective how important what we do is, even though sometimes it may seem silly, just so that that everyone out there, that us, here at the show, and hopefully my kids as they grow up realize that they're not alone. You don't have to go through it alone. As long as my lung cavity is not filled up with bloody fluid. And that shouldn't be the case come September.